Let us start. In the last class, we have started discussion on the compound stresses and strain. In the first chapter, in our first module, the simple stress and strain, we have discussed the phenomenon of a prismatic bar subjected to a single uniform and pointed distributed stress. A single or pointed distribution of stress or a variable distribution of stress. Mostly, we have gone through different aspects, like the bar is subjected to a single uniform stress at its end. Now, and we have gone through the stresses induced, strain induced, Poisson's induced due to the effect of the stress force, as well as the Poisson's ratios, side or lateral force, etc. But now, let us have the direct and shear forces are announced and independent also. So what is say? The direct forces which was acting over it was independent of each other. Like this, you see. Stresses are direct or direct tensile, compressive stress, or tensile or compressive load. Direct shear stress or shear load. They are acting individually. They are acting independently. Or
हेलो सर
हेलो
सर ये पीडीएफ सर भेज दीजिएगा
हैं?
पीडीएफ जो पढ़ा रहे हैं ना सर आप उसका
हाँ।
पीडीएफ सर भेज दीजिएगा
পিডিএফ শেয়ার করার কোনো দরকার নেই, তুই তোরা এতে যা গুগলে গিয়ে এসএস রতন সার্চ করো, পিডিএফ বেরিয়ে আসবে, বুঝছো?
कहाँ पर से करना पड़ेगा सर
কিচ্ছু না, পিডিএফ ভার্সন অফ স্ট্রেংথ অফ মেটেরিয়াল বাই এসএস রতন, আর কে বানসাল, আর রাজপুত, ঠিক আছে?
तो सर हम लोग को पता नहीं चल रहा है ना सर कौन वाला चीज हम लोग को पढ़ना है
ওহো, তোর বইটা এটা কর না, তারপর তাই বলে দেবো। আমি কি বলছি না কোন চ্যাপ্টারটা হচ্ছে? এটা যেমন কম্পাউন্ড স্ট্রেস, তোরা বইটা ডাউনলোড কর, আমি বলে দিচ্ছি। আমার কাছে জিনিস আছে, পাঠিয়ে দেবো, সেটা কোনো ব্যাপার নয়। পিডিএফ নয়, অন্যভাবে হ্যান্ড রাইটিং নোট আছে।
नहीं आपका पास जो है ना सर हम लोग को भेज दीजिएगा तब हम लोग को पता चलेगा कि कौन कौन
দেবো
है
দেবো, তুমি যেটা বলছি সেটাও করো, অনেক বেটার জিনিস ওটা।
ओके सर
বুঝেছো? ল্যাপটপ আর ডেস্কটপে করবে, ল্যাপটপ ডেস্কটপকে সার্চ পারবে করো, রাজ বাটন করো,
ओके
ঠিক আছে? পেয়ে যাবে, পুরো ডাউনলোড করে নিও, সেভ করে নিও, হয়ে গেল, কম্প্রেস করে নিও।
Sir, please tell in English or Hindi, sir. We can't understand Bengali, sir.
শোনো ম্যান, গুগল তো আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড কিয়া, গুগল মে সার্চ করো, এসএস রতন দেখতে পাচ্ছ? এসএস রতন।
Sir, we can't understand Bengali, sir.
আরে যেটা লিখছি পড় না, দেখ না, আর রাজপুত, ঠিক আছে? এটা বোধহয় এসডি আর এসডি বানসাল, মোস্ট লাইকলি বানসাল। পিডিএফ ভার্সন
ओके सर
বার করে নাও, পিডিএফ ভার্সন। এগুলো পেতে অসুবিধা না, বেস্ট হচ্ছে এইটা। এগুলোর প্রিন্টিং ইজ নট দ্যাট গুড, দিস ওয়ান খুব একটা প্রিন্টিংটা ভালো নয়, এইটা বেস্ট। এটা থেকে আমি ওই জন্য পড়াচ্ছি, ঠিক আছে? পিডিএফ ভার্সন বার কর, আর এগুলো বই অ্যাভেলেবল, লাইব্রেরিতে পেতে পারো। हेलो
तो सर किताब में तो सर पूरा हिस्ट्री दिया हुआ है ना सर।
ओहो সেটা তো
किताब
আমি
तो
বলবো
मेरे पास भी है, किताब
সেটা
मेरे
আমি
पास भी
বলবো
है सर।
तो
हेलो
मैं
सर।
बताऊंगा क्या
आरके सर बुक मेरे पास भी है, आरके बंसल का, हम लाइब्रेरी से लिए हैं।
শোন দা ক্লাসে যেটা বলছি only
जी हाँ
I am also following a book ठीक है I am following
जी।
SS Ratan in practice in past I am following RK SD Khurmi RS Khurmi the RS Khurmi PDF version আমি বার করতে পারিনি most likely it is not there ठीक है that's why I am saying that
जी
but books are available in the library even all the books are available all 4 books are available ठीक है আমি যে চ্যাপ্টার গুলো পড়ছি প্রত্যেক বই all these are common to all books first simple stress and strain next is coming next is module is compound stress and strain দাঁড়া প্রেজেন্ট চ্যাপ্টার লিখছি দেখো compound stress and strain मैं तो द रिकॉर्डेड वर्जन मैं तो हर रोज में सेंड किया कोई तो खुला नहीं दिखा नहीं तो मैं क्या करूंगा बोलो each and every day's version I am sending each and every day's class full recording but none of you are opening so what I can do everything what is written here it is being recorded it is sent to you but you don't have the time to record open it you have to do certain work when you're home total बेकार आदमी है हम घर बसने के लिए God knows when the will open you have to work man no other alternative যা দিচ্ছি সেগুলো করো ইউজেস আর্গুমেন্টে কোনো লাভ হয় না ইস কাজটা ঘটে গেল
तो समझ में आएगा तब ना सर करेंगे हम लोग,
হ্যাঁ
समझ में आएगा तब तो लिखेंगे हम लोग।
पढ़ते तो হবে पढ़ने तो होना ही होगा ना कैसे समझेंगे नहीं पढ़ने तो
वही तो सर मतलब जो जो टॉपिक सब है ना सर वो टॉपिक सब हम लोग को नहीं
ये
मिल
नॉट
रहा है
ये
बहुत कुछ।
सिंपल सब्जेक्ट नहीं है इंजीनियरिंग इज नॉट सिंपल थिंग
हम
एनीबॉडी
लोग
विल
को पता है
अंडरस्टैंड
सर,
यू हैव टू
हम लोग को
अंडरस्टैंड यू
पता
हैव
है
टू
सर
रीड
आसान नहीं है, लेकिन सर जो जो पढ़ा रहे वो चीज हम लोग को नोट्स अगर अच्छा से नहीं मिलेगा तो हम लोग सर किस तरह से लिखेंगे, हम लोग तो नया नया है अभी।
বই is excellent but you have to read there is nothing in the world which will give you without any preparation you will understand the strength of material this is no way is possible you have to read what is the
बुक हम
use
लोग
of
के पास
complaining
है
like this
सर,
है
बुक है मेरे पास, बुक है आरके बंसल का है, लेकिन हम
come
लोग
to
को
the library and take the books हो जाएगा
बुक है मेरे पास बुक
तुम्हारे
है,
पास नहीं है ये तुम्हारा कॉलेज में है
मेरा हाथ में है बुक, हम गए थे बीच में
तो
लेके
যা
आए हैं।
বলা করো পিডিএফ ডাউনলোড করো চমৎকার জিনিস আছে
ओके
শুধু রতনটা করলেই হবে
ठीक है
আর্গুমেন্ট বাড়িয়ে লাভ নেই কিছু এইভাবেই পড়তে হবে এখন all discussion is smashed that I'm starting from the beginning in our last chapter in the chapter direct stress and strain and strain what is happened what is the situation was the tensile stroke compressive force are applied. Or shear forces applied on a prismatic bar. Direct forces, tensile transfer forces, are applied axially to the bar. Forces can be single, like this. Okay, this is a single force. Only one force is acting on both sides. Forces can be distributed like this. Over the surface, a certain portion is loaded by distributed force. Distribution may be uniform, may be changing. Then shear forces like this. They are acting over the surface. But all these forces are acting independently. Or singly, or in single. Means only one force is applied at the end, only one force is distributed force is applied at the end, or only one shear force is applied on the end. But now we'll discuss forces applied in combination. Means, say the bar force is applied here, at this where this compressive in nature. There can be another force which is applied here, that is tensile in nature. There can be another force which is applied here like this, and another force which is shear in nature. They are all acting together. All these forces acting together. This is called compound stress. This is called loading. Stress created are compound stresses. Now, this can be applied normal or tangential direction, but as they are acting simultaneously, as all these forces are acting on the same bar, simultaneously, then there may be a resultant load acting on the bar itself. Now what we are doing is so what is that? What I have told you in detail, direct and shear stresses direct forces and shear forces assumed act independently. Okay? Stresses determined on the normal or tangential direction. But direct and shear forces act simultaneously on a body, and the maximum of the resultant may act in some other direction than the load application. It is therefore necessary to find out the stresses as well as the planes on planes other than those of load application. The stresses varies from point to point. The equilibrium of the element of a point is to be considered by taking the element of infinitesimal dimensions, so that the stresses approaches the condition at the point such as infinitesimal element may be considered to be of any convenient shape, and the stresses may be assumed uniformly distributed over the surface of the element. In a two-dimensional analysis, thickness of the element does not affect the result for the convenient shape, may be taken as immunity. So it is now clear. First of all, direct stresses, shear stresses. Shear stresses means tensile and compressive stresses, or tensile and compressive forces, not stresses exactly. And shear stresses, they are first acting independently. They are acting normal or tangential direction of direction. But in other cases are there, they are acting simultaneously. And the maximum value may be not either of them, but the resultant of the stresses. And that's also acting in other direction other than normal or tangential direction. So we have to find out the stresses on the planes and the position of the plane over which this stress is maximum. And what is the maximum resultant stress? Because when the different type of forces are acting simultaneously. This is the most important fact. Different forces are acting simultaneously itself, like this. Now, what we do here, the stress varies from point and point. They are not same or not uniform throughout the cross section or throughout the length. So what we do, we find out an element at a point. We found it at a point, first a point. Next, an element at that point. Element means this element or this particular element has a infinitesimally small dimensions. Their dimensions are infinitesimally small, but they are not equal to 0. The stresses, we can say that at any point, stresses are acting over this infinitesimal element, means a single force is acting over this infinitesimal element. Because this particular element is extremely small. So we can safely judge a single force is acting on it. Now, this shape can be of any shape. This may be square, maybe triangle like this. And stresses here, this for these small stresses are uniformly distributed and equally distributed. Next, in two-dimensional variation analysis, the thickness of the element does not affect the thickness and convenience state that is taken as unity itself. Now, after so many complicated cases, what we do, we make a simplified analysis like this. what we understand, we are making certain consideration. We make certain simplified consideration. So what is that? First we assume what we do, first we assume tensile stress, load, positive, compressive stresses, stress or load, negative. Now, a pair shear stresses load are acting in a pair. Which means for tensile load, compressive load, only a single force is acting. Single force acting. But shear force, pair of forces, or two force of same magnitude but of opposite direction is acting. This is positive when tensile, this is negative when tensile, and this is positive when this pair of force is acting in clockwise direction, that is positive, and anti-clockwise direction negative. So what is this? Say a bar like this, when a force is applied like this, that's tensile in nature, it is positive. When it is applied compressive in nature, negative. And a shear force is applying like this, always applied in pair, means one force is acting over this surface like this, and another force is acting over a surface like this. But both are, this is acting vertically upwards, this is acting vertically downwards, and they are acting, producing a couple. This is called a clockwise couple. This is positive. If it is like this, this is anti-clockwise couple. Negative. Okay. Now, following cases are considered. First of all, say biaxial stress condition. Biaxial stress condition. And direct stress na full bolam. Direct stress condition. direct stress condition. Biaxial stress condition. Pure shear stress condition. And for biaxial and for biaxial and shear stress condition. Okay. So direct stress condition, biaxial stress condition, pure shear stress condition, and biaxial shear stress condition. What is this means? We are discussing one after another. So what is the direct stress condition itself? Now, let a bar is like here. Is acted bar be acted upon by axial external force P and resulting in a direct tensile stress P sigma S. Say this is the bar here. This is a prismatic bar. It is applied. It is subjected to an external force say P like this, which results in a direct tensile stress sigma X along its length. So due to the action of this force P, we are having a direct tensile stress sigma X here and direct tensile stress sigma X here at both the ends. Now, we have calculated the stress on the transverse section B, this one B, C, D, and E. And this is the section itself, which is normal to the cross section. This section is normal to the longitudinal axis. Now we'll have a pure normal stress acting on it. So only if we consider this section, only a normal stress equal to sigma X is acting over it. Now, if we have an arbitrary plane, A, C, T, P, which is inclined at an angle phi with the vertical, we'll have two components. First of all, what you are thinking, say a normal plane. Normal means that normal to the longitudinal axis of this prismatic bar. Next, what with the force it's carrying due to the action of the external force, stress, say sigma X and sigma X, it is also carrying a normal sigma X over its surface and nothing else. Next, we are considered another plane, another arbitrary plane, which is A, C, D, A, which is at an angle theta with the vertical itself. The initial force plane B, C, D, and E was normal to the longitudinal axis. Now, this is not normal. This new forces B, C, D, and F, it's not normal to the longitudinal axis, but at an angle to it. It is thought that it is subtended by an angle theta with the normal plane itself. So what happens now? We should have, if we understand taking the stress acting over an arbitrary plane included angle is the vertical, we have two components. Normal components known as direct stress component and tangential component known as shear stress component. So let us have this triangle A, B, and C, where AB, BC is the normal plane, and AC represents the angular plane, which is at an angle theta with the normal. And we are considering that the thickness of this prismatic bar is equal to unity, or it is like a piece of paper. So it's like a, I mean, two-dimensional angle which we can put on the paper instead. Thickness of the bar is considered as so we have this type of prismatic bar is reduced in the form of a rectangle like this, and where this normal plane is reduced in a straight line here, and the angular plane is reduced to an angle here. The incident angle between them is equal to theta. If we consider this triangle separately, this should be A, B, and C. That is A, that is B, and that is C. And it is subject, we have to find out what is the force acting over this plane. We have find it will have two components, a normal components on the direct stress like this, which is normal to this plane, tangential components, which is a shear stress acting over this, tangentially over this angle itself. Now, if we imagine a triangles like this, how we can calculate or determine this stress? The bar is given cut through the section ABCD, AC, DF, AC, DF. Each portion of the bar is also in equilibrium under the forces due to the stresses developed. For convenience, a triangular prismatic element A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F means total this triangle. This prismatic element containing the face A, B, A, C, D, F are taken in the force analysis. As we are thinking that this is a unit thickness, it will be only a triangle. dy, length of the side, BC. This is the length of the side. That is dy. And AB, length AC is the length, DS is the length of the side AC. Now sigma x acting on the plane B, acting on the plane BCDE, that is BCDE, which is BC here, as we are thinking of unit thickness, and that is known as sigma x. At sigma theta, normal stress acting on the plane ACDF means ACDF. This is the normal stress acting over this plane, sigma theta, and tau theta, tangential or shear stress acting on the plane ACDF over this plane. Here we are assuming unit thickness of the prism and equate the forces along normal and tangential direction to the plane of prism for this, to the plane ACDF for the prism for its equilibrium. Now, sigma theta, which is shown here, sigma theta multiplied by the length multiplied by the thickness, which is equal to unity, is equal to sigma theta ds, which is the force acting normally over this inclined plane, which is equal to minus sigma x dy cos theta, sigma x dy. Dy is the length of this side, and sigma is the stress acting over it. The total force acting over BC is the length and multiplied by the area. So stress multiplied by the length multiplied by the thickness. This is acting on along the hypotenuse, imagined like this. So normal stress will be sigma x dy into cos theta, where theta is the in between angle here. This is one theta, which is equal to theta here. So sigma theta ds is equal to minus sigma x dy cos theta. Why minus? Sigma is acting horizontally rightwards, and sigma theta is acting horizontally leftwards. So it are opposite direction. So they are balancing each other. They are subtracted from each other, and this subtraction value of the subtraction is equal to 0 as they are in equilibrium itself. So sigma theta, sigma is dy cos theta by ds, or sigma x dy cos theta divided by dy divided by cos theta. So sigma x is equal to cos square theta. Dy cos theta remains as this, and what is ds? ds is equal to dy. ds is the angle here. What is ds? ds is the length, and dy is this length. So dy is the dx is the dy divided by cos theta itself. Thus, ds is equal to dy divided by cos theta, or sigma x dy cos theta dy by cos theta is equal to sigma x cos square theta. This dy is cancelling each other, and all this cos theta cos this cos theta is equal to cos square theta. Now sigma theta is equal to sigma x cos square theta. Again, tau ds, tau theta ds means shear stress tau acting over this gradient here, this one, multiplied by the length ds, multiplied by the thickness 1, is plus sigma x in dy sin theta. Sigma x, the vertical element of this value of sigma x dy is sigma x in dy into sin theta of this particular angle, which is acting parallel to this thing. So they are cancelling each other. And assuming tau theta is a clockwise or positive, if tau theta is acting here, it's acting in this direction, it will be positive here. And the forces sigma x also is acting in the same direction. So this plus dy sigma x dy sin theta is equal to 0 itself, or tau theta minus sigma x dy sin theta by ds, and while ds is replaced by ds is replaced by dy sin dy cos theta, then this yes, ds is replaced by dy cos theta. These dy are cancelled each other. So sigma x sigma sin theta into cos theta goes up. So half sigma is equal to sigma tau theta is half sigma sin 2 theta. The negative sign shows that when tau theta is counterclockwise and not clockwise in the required inclined plane itself. When theta is equal to 0, right, there is no angle of inclination, then sigma theta is equal to sigma x. When theta is equal to 45 degrees, then sigma theta is equal to sigma x by 2.